Coin grading guy here, and what I have for you today is a 1970 San Francisco Lincoln Memorial Cent. And at first blush, you're probably going, why the heck would you send in a 1970 to get graded, even if it is in nice shape? And the answer is because there are two different versions of the 1970 whether it was done on purpose or not, I guess I don't know. But there is a small date and a large date, or I guess they call it, with a small date, they would call it a high 7, and with the large date, they'd call it a low 7. And as always, I'll throw pictures up here to kind of describe the difference between the two, or show the difference. I can describe it here, but in this instance, I have the small date, which is the I guess more rare or sought after version of this coin this year in mint mark. And how you can tell that is the 7 sits basically across the top of the 0, basically at the same level. And with the large date, the 0 is sitting, the top of the 0 sits well above the top of the 7, which they then give that, they call that kind of the low 7. So so this is the small one here, so I'm going to send that in because in if you can get a nice mint state grade out of it, a mid mint state grade out of it, they can command a little bit of a premium. And so that's why I'm going to send this in, because this is in, I believe, I'm uncirculated condition. I think it's mint state. The one thing you will notice on the obverse here is, like, for example, you can see right below Liberty there, you can see what appear to be hairlines running kind of parallel to Liberty and then across the Y and stuff like that. I am fairly certain those are just die polish marks, because this coin, was in a flip, which I think also explains, if you kind of look at the coin, you look at the fields, and the fields look, they look, what's the word, flashy, they got luster. And then if you look at the device Lincoln there, he's got a little bit of dullness to him, and I'm hoping that's not because of some sort of cleaning or wiping or something like that. My speculation is that this coin spent many years in this holder, flip, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just hoping that the high point of Lincoln there was just rubbing against the plastic there in this flip, and maybe just kind of giving it that, that little, maybe rub the shine off it a little bit. I don't know. I guess I'm hoping this one, that this isn't, even if this does get this isn't an extraordinary coin or anything, but I would like it to straight grade, especially if you've seen the Indian head cent that I can put the link in the corner, and you guys can go watch that video to see that whole drama with the coin. I really wanted to get straight graded, and that did not turn out to work in my favor. But yeah, those lines, you can see the lines in front of it, Lincoln's nose and stuff too. So I am fairly certain those are, because they're just everywhere. They're kind of going different directions, But again, I do this as a hobby. I collect. I try to learn what I can learn from, watching other people on YouTube and things like that. So I'll send this one off. Obviously, it could, there are these, I guess, black carbon spots. I don't know what's on there. I'm not going to have this coin conserved, unless, I guess, I get an email that says you have to conserve it, otherwise you're not going to put it in the holder. I'm going to leave it like this, and I guess we'll see what happens. So I'm hoping mint state grade. Stay tuned. Be back in a minute. 1970 San Francisco small date is back from grading and got a good grade on it. Mint state 65 red. I'll take that. So it must have been right with respect to the die polish lines. You can see, like, under Liberty there and by the Y, and then you know, above the 1970. There's those lines. So those must have been dye polish lines. And then I don't know what kept it from maybe being a 66. Never have any idea, but potentially it looks like maybe on the high points, kind of like by the ear and the, you know, above the ear there and the hair, there was just enough rubbing or wearing on that to not have it be a 66. But of course, I don't know. It could be the you know, the black spots on the reverse here too. You can see up there and by the S in United States. So, yeah, this is a sneaky little coin. This 1970 small date in a mint state 65 red. There's some value here. They're selling on eBay, you know, $80, $90. And that's contrast to the large date, which doesn't sell anywhere near that. Even in a 65, 66 red is, you know, is $10, $12, $15, $20. So I am not sure what makes the small date a little more collectible. I mean, they made, you know, over 690 million 1970 San Francisco Lincoln cents. And of the 19s, I have no idea how many are the small date versus the large date. There must be some measure of rarity between the small and the large, but I couldn't tell you why, you know, the small date commands a little bit more of a premium. But anyway, kind of a sneaky coin. You know, it works out for me in this instance. You know, all I have into it is the grading costs, and so not that I'm selling it. You know, it's kind of, if you watch the channel, you know, I'm doing this kind of as a collector, and you know, kind of taking you guys along the ride along with my collection. Hopefully you guys can learn something and I can learn something. But all right, that's it. If you like this kind of content, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.